this is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, what are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, the clock is ticking. You guys, it is pretty much 2 hours until the deadline now to see what President Trump will do. He said, Iran, come to the table or else. And joining us now to see what she's hearing and what she thinks may happen tonight and what she thinks needs to happen tonight is Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne from the great state of Texas. Congresswoman, we love you. What are you hearing and what do you think may portend tonight?
Look, I mean, I think the president has been very clear, has been very strong in his message. Anybody who is listening and paying attention, he not only, comes out with very strong language, like a leader does, but he's also following it up with very strong action, with the most strategic and effective military this world has ever known. I've been so impressed with the U.S. military. I think they have been very surgical in their attacks. I mean, I understand that they have been striking military targets, on Karg Island. Israel at the same time has been attacking, some of the infrastructure, like I think they did 8 bridge sections, which was moving weapons and equipment across Iran to be able to conduct further strikes. The missiles that Iran has sent out, and they're still doing that. Not only are they targeting Israel, but I also understand in the last 12 hours that they sent out missiles that hit as far away as Saudi Arabia. What we need to make sure is that those missiles, which they have already proven could be launched as far as London, do not have nuclear capabilities. I think this president has been very transparent. He has been very deliberate, saying this is what we are trying to prevent. You have had a regime that's been at war with us for the last 47 years who claims that they will, and ultimately their goal is to destroy Western, the Western civilization, starting with Israel, following up with the United States. So I think what's going to end up happening is the targets that they are already have achieved much of the mission. I think he's going to come back. He's going to be very clear with the United States. This is what we have been able to achieve. And then he's going to leave it up to Iran. Do you want to continue this destruction and potentially, hurt your future ability to be able to grow and to succeed? Or do you want to be able to work with us on a ceasefire and all that entails?
Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, I wonder, have your Democratic colleagues truly lost their mind? Honestly, I couldn't believe I've been watching today. Blumenthal of Connecticut, the senator, calls it war crimes. Ro Khanna of California calls Trump a war criminal. Seth Moulton calls Pete Hegseth Department of War Crimes. They didn't say a word when Iran was killing its own people. Or if it was very low. It was very tepid. They didn't say anything. And yet, because President Trump's trying to wipe an evil regime off the map, to me, it's un-American and it's shocking. And it's such a new low.
Just yesterday, Iran was hanging protesters. Just yesterday, where is their outrage? But not to mention the fact that, look, LBJ targeted, power plants in North Vietnam. You had both Bushes that targeted Iraq's power grid. You had Bill Clinton that went after, Serbia's energy structure. Obama, did the same thing in Libya. This is what war looks like. It is not pretty. But this has been a war that Iran has been against the entire Western civilization for 47 years. My Democrat friends hate Trump more than they love this country, have no problem undermining, just because it's Trump doing it. But here's the other problem. When you start whipping out war crimes, not only are you attacking the president for committing war crimes, you are also attacking our military for carrying them out. So unless they are prepared to not only go after our president, But our military members who are so strategic, so effective in showing the world how deadly and effective they are, they need to stop. They need to stop this rhetoric because it's very dangerous. They have no real intention of doing it other than to continue with the Trump derangement syndrome that all of them just seem to be working under.
I agree. It's so destructive. Craig Eaton.
You know what I think they need to do, Congresswoman? They need to take off their Democratic hats and put on their American hats. We are all Americans. They are all Americans.
That's a good idea.
They need to look at what's happening to America, what's happening to our Americans and our soldiers and our military, and what could potentially happen here on our soil and the soil around this world. That's what they need to look at. It's very simple. They got to get off the Trump derangement syndrome train and get on the American train.
And you know what I worry about, Craig, too?
I could not agree with you
more. I worry it's also going to be used for propaganda. Because I worry that, you know what's going to happen in some country where they don't like us? They're going to say, look what Congressman of the U.S. says this. They're not going to know it's all part of the Trump derangement syndrome, to your point, Craig.
No, I mean, you're right. And nothing makes me more sick than to see U.S. representatives, U.S. senators going overseas and undermining America. And they have been doing it ever since Trump, his first 4 years in office, his last year in office. They have been doing it. We were unable to go to some of our NATO summits because of the shutdown that Democrats caused. By not funding during a time of war, during a time of national security crisis. They didn't think it was important that we actually had a funded Homeland Security agency. So we were not able to go as Republican Congress members according to our rules. It did not stop members of the Democrat Senate or the Democrat Congress members. So they have been going, whether or not it was the Munich Security Summit, whether or not it was the NATO Summit in Brussels, and completely undermining the president's very strong message of America first, America strength, leadership. And you're right, this will be used as political rhetoric by our enemies. And you have seen these U.S. Congress members defending our enemies, all to hate on Trump because they are concerned about losing power in the midterm. It is disgraceful. It is an embarrassment. And I agree with you 100%. Put on your American hat. That is the country in which you live. It's the country in which you represent. Start doing it.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, thank you. We love having you join us. Pray for America tonight because it could be a very pivotal.
The final countdown, 2 hours.
Less than 2 hours.
1 hour and 53 minutes.
Yeah, isn't that wild? I mean, we'll see what happens.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
And you know what we all stand for, Congresswoman?
Truth, justice, and the American way.
God bless America.
This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.